Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Salesforce Developer Group Ajmer. Thank you for joining us for this session. Before getting started with this session, let me introduce myself. I'm Monica Ramchandani. I'm a senior software engineer at iCream. I'm also a community group leader for the Salesforce Developer Group Ajmer. I'm a TDX speaker. I'm a founder of SFDC Girl blog and also a content creator at SFDC Girl YouTube channel where I share my knowledge about flows, Agentforce, and Salesforce in video formats and in written format as well. If you want to learn anything about flows, Agentforce, you can join me in my YouTube channel as well. These are my social media links. Feel free to ping me there and then we can have a chat there. Right now, let's talk about today's session. Today, we are going to talk about getting started with Lightning Local Development Server, which brings the power of LWC closer to you. We learn about what is Lightning Local Development Server, the consideration, the prerequisites, and also we'll have a demo of how we can make a most of it, right? And now, to tell us more about this topic, we have our speaker for today, Kapil Batra. He has been a Salesforce MVP from the last 5 years. He is a Salesforce product owner at Teradata. He is founder of Salesforce Bolt and Bharat Dreamin. He is also a content creator and blog writer for Salesforce Bolt channel. Here are Kapil's social media links. If you're not following him already, go follow him there. Thank you, Kapil, for joining us for this session. I hope me and all the attendees can get the most of this session from you. Over to you. I'll stop my screen and I'll let you share yours.
Hey Monica, hey everyone. Thanks for the wonderful introduction here. Let me quickly turn on my video as well.
Sure.
Just a second. Okay. So today we are going to talk about Lightning Local Development Server. So my camera is on my other screen and I'm looking into other screens, so I might be wobbling around these two. So Lightning Local Development Server is not new for us. It has been there since a while now. We have been seeing multiple updates through every release of it. So in today's video as well, I'll let you know how you can use it in your day-to-day task, how you will be able to install it, use best practices around it. And also there's a latest feature that has been recently introduced, that is how you can display a single Lightning Web component using this Lightning Local Development Server. So we'll be covering that as well. So usually Lightning Local Development Server works in scratch-outs and sandbox production environment, right? But there's a difference between installation steps of it. So what I'm going to do here is we will be covering the scratch-out part using the deck section, using the slides. And for sandboxing, I'll be giving you a live demo, like how you can install it and make the best use of it. Okay. So I will quickly share my screen. Just give me a second here. Okay, let me put it in presentation mode. Okay, so we had covered already till the previous slide. We'll start with the agenda for the day. So we are going to start with the introduction of the Lightning Local Development Server. Most of you already may have been using it, but if you haven't used it yet, trust me, it can be your go-to tool for your day-to-day development activities. After that, I'm going to tell you about prerequisites and enabling step. If you want to enable the Lightning Local Development Server, there are a couple of prerequisites that you need to follow. Then there will be a demo as well, as I told you already. Demo is going to be related to using it in Sandbox, how you can use it in your Sandbox, how to turn it on, and what would be the related command that you will be using with it. Then we'll be having some considerations as well and best practices that you need to keep in your mind whenever using Lightning Local Development Server. And of course, at the end, there will be a fun quiz where you can participate and try to win. Okay. Now moving on to the next slide. So we'll start with the introduction. So basically, with local development server, you can develop your Lightning web component locally. You don't have to deploy it to the server. So basically, whatever you're going to do, it is going to be real-time environment. You must have seen, like in most of the client-side applications, the development have always been in real time. Whatever you're trying to develop, you will be able to see the live output of it, maybe in other screen or in some browser windows. So that's how basically client-side application works. The same goes for Lightning local development server as well. With LWC local dev server as well, you will be able to develop your Lightning web components locally, and then you can see the output in the browser. And once you're satisfied with all those things, after that, maybe you can push it to your server. But eventually, you will be able to do everything locally. So there are a couple of benefits of using it. The first benefit is it will reduce the overall development and deployment cycle what we are having in LWC. So the usual cycle that we have is first we will be developing in Visual Studio, Visual Code, right? Then we have to deploy it to see the output, open the page, reload it, then make the tweaks again in VS Code, and then deploy it again. That is the usual dev cycle what we were using before the Lightning local development server. But after the Lightning local development server, we don't have to go through this long path. Instead of that, what we can do is we can simply just turn it on and see the output in the browser window, which could be really, open next beside your VS Code. So it also prevents needs of frequent migration to higher environment because you must be testing it locally. So it will be less error prone. It will be reducing failures as well. And whatever your changes you're going to do, those are going to be reflect real time on a browser screen. So there will be less chances of failure of getting error in higher environments. Okay. Next is prerequisites and enabling steps. So there are a few steps that you have to follow while you are using it. So in prerequisites, you should be having the Salesforce CLI installed. Then you should be having the Salesforce Lightning Local Dev plugin installed, and then you must be enable the local development server. So the enabling steps are pretty straightforward for scratch-outs and sandboxes both. But here in this slide, I'm going to cover for scratch-out, and in the demo, we'll be covering the sandbox part. Okay. So enabling steps contain, so if you need a scratch-out, of course, you will need a developer org first. So you need to have a developer org. You need to enable the dev hub in it to have the ability to create scratch-outs using it. Then you can create a scratch org and install the Lightning Dev plugin using this command. Then you can enable the local development server from setup quick find. Local dev will be there to enable it. And in your SFDS project, you need to open the project.scratch definition JSON. And in that JSON file, you need to add this attribute, which is enable Lightning preview preference and set it to true. This is one of the mandatory steps while you're using your scratch-out that you have to perform. Then at the end, you just need to run the command, which is SF Lightning development app, which is going to do the trick for you. Once you will run this command, it is going to give you multiple options in your terminal. It will be asking you in which device you want to run it. For example, you will be having option for desktop, Android, and iOS. So you can select desktop, which is going to be the default mode that you will be using for a development. But if you're developing a specific application, which are supposed to run in Android or iOS device, you can use that as well. So if you're going to use the Android or iOS device, it is going to ask you to download the simulator and emulators related to those devices. If you have it installed already, it is going to open the iOS or Android simulator accordingly. If you don't have it, it is going to give you option to install it. So that's how it is going to work. There are few considerations as well that you need to keep in mind whenever you are working with Lightning local development server. You need to be very, very mindful while doing development. So as we have seen, Lightning local development server offers a lot of features, right? However, there are some limitations, considerations that you need to look for. So one of the consideration is you should be having view setup and customized application permission, right? So usually this permission comes default with the system admin profile, and most of you, if you are going to try it for testing purpose, you must be having system admin profile already. But in case if we don't have the system admin profile, you just need to make sure the view setup and customized application permission is there. If you're going to use it for Experience Cloud's websites, so for Experience Cloud, this feature is still not available in GA. It is still in open beta version. So make sure to check all the considerations, best practices related to it before using it. Single component preview is one of the latest features introduced by the local development server, which gives you ability to run your single Lightning Web component without even deploying it to the server, without even putting it into an application or a record page. But this feature is still available in beta version. It is still not, I would say, matured enough. It has just recently released. It may take, couple of more releases to make it completely mature. So that is available in beta right now. One of the limitation is that you can't review landing pages with local development server. Landing pages are not going to work. Another best practice consideration is you cannot use local dev to test Aura component. If you have Aura component, you need to go through the usual way of testing that you were doing before the local development server. And the last consideration that you see on the screen is if you added a component file or type other than JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, you need to. So, for example, if you're editing js-meta.xml, then you have to deploy the component to see those changes in your local preview. For HTML, JavaScript, CSS, it is going to work as expected. The changes are going to be real time. You should be able to see all the changes in your browser. But for Meta XML or any other file except these three files, if you're editing, you need to make sure that you are deploying the whole component to see the latest changes. So yeah, I mean, these were the considerations that you should be keeping in your mind whenever you're working with local development server. Now, moving on to the demo, where I'm going to show you how it is going to be for sandbox environment. So I'll quickly pause the presentation here. Okay, and let me open my VS Code.
Kapil, while you're opening it, there's one question if you can answer from Gulam. It says that in real time, it will reflect JS class changes also.
Yes, it is going to reflect changes for your JavaScript file as well. For example, if you're adding a new attribute, changing its values, the changes are going to be there in real time. It will be reflecting JavaScript changes as well.
Okay, perfect.
All right, moving on to the demo. So I have my VS Code open here. Let me quickly just open the project. Okay, so there is a project that I have already created for this demo purpose, where if you will notice, I'm having two components right now. One of the component is boat picker. Here it is, which is having CSS, HTML, and JavaScript as well. Okay. So with this boat picker, we are having a Lightning record picker, which is going to help us to select the specific boat. And once the boat is selected, the design is going to be displayed on the page itself. Okay. So that is the boat picker. And another one is single boat component, which don't have any HTML, JavaScript yet, because that is something that I'm going to use to show you the demo of how the single preview of Lightning Web component is going to work. So let's start with the board picker component. I have already deployed it in my environment. So I'll quickly open the environment here. So here we'll do open default org, which is going to open the default org connected to it, which is a sandbox right now. So in your sandbox as well, you need to enable it. So the enabling step is saying you just need to search for local tab, and here you go. So here this toggle, you can make it enable or disable as per your requirement. This is going to be the same steps for Scratch or if you are having sandbox also, the step is same there. Now let me quickly move to the sales application here. Okay, I will open one of the account. Okay, so on my account here, you see the boat browser is there. Now, whatever boat I'm going to search here, it is going to give me the result underneath it. Okay, so that's how it is going to work. Let me show it to you. So for example, let's say I'm searching with S character. Now there's a list of boats available. And once I select a boat, it is going to give me the picture of that boat, name of the boat, who is the captain, what would be the price, and what is the type of that boat. Okay. So before making changes here, I'll be enabling my Lightning development server in my VS Code as well. So this local development server is going to work as per your projects. If you have enabled it in one project with the same environment, but if you're creating a new project, you need to install it again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, here is my terminal. And in terminal, you just need to enter a command to install it, which is SF plugin install Salesforce plugin Lightning tab. So this is the command to install the Lightning development server in your Visual Studio Code. In any case, if your environment is running on a lower API version, so I believe it support API version 64 or higher maybe. But in any case, if your environment is running on a lower version of API, it is going to throw an error here. In that case, you need to install the pre-release version of it. So I'll just hit enter to install it. And it may take a couple of seconds here. Okay, as you can see here, it says installing plugin, and after that, you can see the name of the plugin, which is basically Lightning Local Development Server, and here it is installing the latest version of it. So this is installed right now with version 3.5.0. Okay, now let's say if I'm going to run the command to open the Lightning Local Development Server, which is SF Lightning dev app. So this is the command using which you can open your Lightning development server. So if I'm going to hit enter now, okay, as you can see the errors on the screen where it says your org is on API version 64, but this version of the CLI plugin support API version 63. That means the plugin need a different version that I'm already having in my org. So for that, what you can do is instead of installing the latest for the local dev server, you can install the pre-release version of it. So in your sandbox, usually what is happening, you may always be having the latest release version. I mean, whatever the updates coming, you must be having the latest release in it. But there can be scenarios where the component may not support the exact version what you're having, and there will be scenarios as well where they support the lower version of it. So for that, what you can do is simply the command is same to install it. You just need to add at the rate pre-release in it. So it is going to install a pre-release version. Okay. Let me quickly check what is this. Okay, now it is installing. So here now you can see the pre-release version is being installed, and with the previous command that we had, with that the latest version was being installed. So if you'll see, the version is little different here. It is 2.10.3 and the previous version was 3.5. So now I have installed the pre-release version, which is supported by the current APIs. So I will be just hitting the command to run the local developments over here. I'll hit enter. Okay, now it is giving me three options here, whether I would like to go for the desktop, mobile. Let me try if I can do zoom in. Okay, so here if you will see in my terminal, I'm getting options whether I would like to open my desktop version, mobile Android and mobile iOS. So desktop version is something which is available by default for everyone. But if you need mobile Android or mobile iOS, for that you have to install the specific emulator and simulators that can be downloaded from their official websites on the Salesforce documentation as well. You should be able to find their link. So for now, we'll just go with the desktop version here. So I'll hit enter. Now, after hitting enter, it is going to give me options about the applications that I'm having in the environment. So right now, these are the default applications that I have, like sales service, experience, sales cloud mobile. These are the applications that I'm having. So from these applications, I'm just going to open it in my default application. And here my default application is the sales app here. Okay. So I'll open the sales app. Okay, I think I stopped sharing. Just a second. Sorry for this technical glitch.
No problem.
Okay, I think it's visible now, right? Cool. So we'll hit enter here, and it is going to open the sales environment, which it has opened in my next screen. Let me bring it here. Okay, so this is the sales environment what I'm having. Let me go back to VS Code. Okay, cool. So that component that I had is on account tab. Now you must have noticed earlier we had this local tab enabled because the local tab was enabled. But now what we are having is these data that local tab has been using. So you can see this can be one indication that your local tab server is working as expected. So we'll go to account and yeah, this is my board browser. Let me select a board. Okay, you can see the image, captain, price, etc., etc. Now, as the local tab is turned on, it gives me ability to make changes in real time, and I can avoid the usual deployment or development cycle what I was having here, right? So I should be able to make changes here in my local environment, and those changes should be visible directly in the environment. Okay. So, for example, let's say I'm removing boat from these three labels. So now it is just captain, price, and board type. Okay, I haven't saved this file. So here in the output, you can see board captain, board price, board type are here. Let me do this thing. Maybe if I can divide the screen here. Just, okay. Okay, so on the left side, I'm having this VS Code here, and on the right side, you can see my browser, which is having the component. Now I have removed the board word from here, and it is not saved yet. You can see the save symbol is still there. Now I'm going to save this. And the moment I saved it, on the right side, if you will see, the changes are being reflected very quickly. It is real time basically. So the boat word has been removed from the online component as well. I mean, it is not online, but it is giving you the visibility of how the component is going to look when you will be putting it on your server. And based on that, accordingly, you can make modifications, you can change CSS, you can add new elements as well. Let's say if you want to add a new lightning button or something, that is also something you can directly do using the local development server, and the changes are going to reflect directly. Let me add it here just to give you the glance of it one more time. Okay, now the minute I'm going to hit save here, you should be noticing the changes on the right side. So I have saved it, and on the right side, you can see the changes are reflecting in real time. So that's how the local dev server is going to work, guys. And this was existing actually in the previous local development server. The new thing what they have recently introduced is the single component preview. Now for the single component preview, we have to build it. Actually, I don't have the component. So let me quickly, yeah, increase the size. Okay, so for single component, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this part, the image and the static text. So single components comes with a lot of limitation. As I told you already, the functionality is not matured enough to take to handle everything whatever you're doing in Lightning or component. So it is going to handle the basic of it, like basic changes related to HTML, labels, and you can also have this SLDS2 in it. It is going to handle all those changes. It is not going to handle wire adapters or anything that you do in JavaScript. So basically, single Lightning component rendering is in the same place where the LWC local dev was initially when they launched it. And with time, of course, they are going to mature the overall functionalities and the services as well. So this dev is responsible to display the image. So I'll just copy it from here and paste it here. Okay. Now let me, so this is the image. Let me comment it for now. We don't have the dynamic attributes linked to it. For boat name, I will just copy the boat name. Let's say sounder, boat captain. I'm just copying all these stuff because it is going to display the static data, which is again useful once you're designing your component, initially where you don't have much insight about the overall functionality, but you know what needs to be done in the component. Now both type as well. Okay, so we have added the single component here as well, but still it is not going to give you the output of it because it still has some classes which are not supported by the single component preview thing. But I'll quickly show you how it is going to be. So let me open a fresh terminal here first. Okay. Now to run a single component, the steps are again same. Instead of this SF Lightning Dev app, you just need to add SF Lightning Dev component. So this is going to be the command if you would like to run the single component using your local development server. Now the change that you will notice here is it is going to give you option to select the component directly. It is not going to give you option to select the device or application, because the expectation here are that you're working on a single component, you don't need the application. You may still think the device is still needed, right? Because for single component itself, you may have to check how it is going to look in the cell phone version, how it is going to look in the tablet version and other devices. But that functionality will be available through your browser instead of giving it for different devices. So for now, I'll be selecting my component, which is single port, and it is going to open it like this. So that's how it is going to look here, guys. Let me quickly refresh it. Yeah. So this is the single port component that we are having here. You can see the name here. The name is coming, and here if I'll do any change, let's say if I'm removing port from here, okay, it is going to display in real time again. So in the single component as well, if you will see, there are options of having the desktop view, uh, the tablet view, and the mobile view as well. So the single component sometimes may not support some classes that you are already having here. In that case, you can simply remove those specific classes and then try to run it again. For example, let's try to have the image here, okay? So the image is still missing from the component. So let me go here and try to get the image. So to get the image, I can simply do inspect, and here's the image. This is going to be the style element that we will need. So I'll copy this, and so in the style element here, I'm going to paste that line which is responsible to display the image. But in URL, we'll be having the static URL what we are having here. So let's copy it from here and paste it here. Now let's see the result, how it is going to be. I have saved it. On local tab preview, you don't see any change, right? And if I'm going to refresh it, see still no change, because the component that has been added there is not supported by local development server. It could be the inline styling that we are using here, or it could be anything, right? So instead of that, if you would have used the basic HTML tags, right? For example, why not imgsrc? Okay, let me save it. And here, as you can see, the image is being rendered. So same thing, while we were trying using the inline styling, it was not working. But if we have used the base tab of it, base component for this, it is working as expected. And here you don't even have to do refresh or anything. The component is still in my local environment. Okay, I haven't deployed it yet. So if you'll see here, I'm going to save it, and the changes are going to reflect in real time. So technically it is same as the local dev server application view. It is just you are having ability to test a specific Lightning Web component here, which gives you more freedom to get your hands dirty with Lightning Web component. And as I told you that this local single component preview also handles the SLDS. I'll quickly give you an example of SLDS. So if you'll search for SLDS Salesforce, this is SLDS2. And here, let's say if you're searching for a basic stuff, maybe a box or something, right? So I'm going to copy it from here. I'll take the base one. Okay, I have copied it. Now I'll go here and we'll close it here. Okay, I have saved it, and here you can see the box is visible with a greater than sign. It is here, okay. Yeah, so here you can see the box is visible. So for the base components as well, you should be able to simply just take it from the SLDS website and put it in a Lightning Web component to see the overall output of how your Lightning Web component is going to behave. See, that's how it is going to look in the mobile device. And also you have option to increase the size of it from browser itself. The height and width can be adjusted by just simply drag and drop steps. So that it is about the local development server. So if you're a developer or aspiring developer, it is going to help you in your day-to-day tasks whenever you're developing a Lightning Web component, whenever you have to test it. If you have internet or no problem now. You can simply use it in your VS Code and check the output in real time. So yeah, I think we are done with the slides as well. Okay. Yeah, there's a quiz also we have planned. So maybe we can move to that. Over to you, Monica.
Kapil, we have few questions in the chat if you can take that up.
Sure. Let me just stop my screen share.
Attendees have answers few of the questions, and I'm liking that everybody is helping each other, but there are few unanswered questions if you can check.
Okay. So I'm going in the descending order. The last one I can see is there any prerequisites for accessing local DAB? So yes, we do have prerequisites that I showed in the previous slide. You will need the Salesforce CLI. You have to enable the local development server, and you need to install it as well, right? So these are the three prerequisites. If we can post it here, okay, the image post option not there. But anyways, I mean, the slide can be shared with you guys, I believe. If not, then maybe I'll just quickly open the slide, and if you want to take a screenshot of it, you can do that. I'm quickly sharing my screen again. Okay. So yeah, you can take the screenshot from here, Aman, and yeah, I mean these are the prerequisites that are needed. I'll take few more questions here. Let me. So static resource changes are still not behaving as expected. So I would just say it is not going to behave as expected. With the local development server, it may work, but the single component thing, it is not going to work because a static resource are only going to be in your local environment in that case. Okay, Monica, if you can call out the questions, I mean,
Okay,
speak
one
chat.
second. Yeah, it's in the chat. That's different. Okay, we have a question from Santanu. He's saying that can we do it and keep local dev server enabled till at UAT for any last fixes to avoid multiple deployment at of LWCs?
So, I mean, technically, process-wise, if you will see, UAT is not for your development purposes, right? I mean, but still, it's up to you how you want to treat it. But process-wise, the changes should be in a lower environment first, and maybe you can put in some higher environment. And whatever is your lower environment, whether it is UAT or some different sandbox, you can have it enabled there for all of your developers because it is being enabled from the environment itself. It is not being
Mhm.
enabled for a specific user, right? It is environmental thing which needs to be enabled using a profile which is having this almost a system admin kind of a credentials because you will need the manage application permission. So yeah, I mean you can keep it there. Like in this example, also if you have noticed in the beginning, there was a banner on the top which says local development is turned on.
Mhm.
That I did yesterday, where I was just building up this demo. And when I logged in today, it was still there. So it's going to be there. You just need to run the component or application again to use it in your VS Code. So that's how it is going to work.
Right, perfect. We have one other question from Siddharth. He says, can we also test features like Lightning messaging services and pops up API in local development preview?
No, you cannot do that. It is just for having your single local development, single LWC thing. So you won't be able to try that. It may not behave properly if you're trying to do some pubs up where you're having multiple channels included, and in LMS as well, it is all about communication between multiple components. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's not gonna work in that way.
Okay. We have one question from Vikas. I mean, the question is big, but basically he's asking, have you tried single lightning preview component? I mean, that is in beta version, but it is working for, is it working for you? But because it is not working for him.
Yeah, I think that question must be before the demo when I showed the lightning local development server.
Okay, yes, correct.
Yeah. So because yes, it is going to work as expected, as you must have seen in the demo already. So it's gonna work. You must be missing some specific steps related to it.
Right. I think we are done. Thank you so much for joining us as a speaker today and sharing your knowledge with us. We are going to call you again for this group for sure. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining and for participating in the quiz. All the very best for your next coming sessions that you're going to join. Uh, and congratulations to the winners. We'll be sending emails to you separately. Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Thank you for